Hi, nice to have you with us on a Saturday morning. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity HR that makes a difference. What a tournament we have thus far through 54 holes at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines. Four-time PGA Tour winner Harris English leads the way at 9 under by 1 heading into the final round. Charlie, I mean, what a tournament so far. Nice to be alongside of you breaking it down on a Saturday morning.
It's always a pleasure, Mr. Doctor. Doctor?
Charlie, I'm looking at this book in
Yes.
front of me that you've given to me. You're coming out with a book here,
Yes.
probably in the next 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
The process is for the most part complete, and you had your first round of meetings with editors this week.
We sure did. And it's exciting. Um, because of Jay Minks and Insperity, I've been able to put together 20 chapters of my experiences around the game of golf. And they've taken me so many different directions, from Argentina to Spain to Kuala Lumpur. Been around the world in 10 days for a golf tournament. The ticket was $27,000. I didn't have to pay for it, but that's what a first class ticket around the world was to go to Kuala Lumpur. And
That was
so,
with Angel, correct?
with Anka, yeah. So I've had so many experiences in life and so many great people that have, really taken good care of Charlie. You can't get along in this world without friends. And, I got so many good friends and a wife of 52 years. So anyways, yeah.
And
Now,
those are two major points that you discuss in this. I mean,
yes.
fatherhood and family, number one, and then mentorship and friendship. I mean, it's amazing the people that you've been around, Charlie, from not only players, Angel Cabrera, Blaine McAllister, Freddie Couples, but also businessmen like Paul Sarvati and Jay Minks. I mean, you have it covered in not only golf but business as well, Charlie.
How about President Bush?
Yeah, 41.
41 and 42.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's your
Yeah.
what's your best memory with HW?
Boy, just
Didn't
being
you
with
have a
him.
round of golf with him?
Yeah, we played at Houston Country Club, and every time he came to town, he called me, and we played, but one day we played, and my two daughters were of age where they could come out and walk with us, and he was so kind to them, and that just showed you the kind of man he was. When I first got at Houston Country Club, he was in charge of the China, the ambassador to China. I mean, just he did it all.
Yeah.
And a great family. And then his son became president. That tells you a lot about Mrs. Bush.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bush was a lovely lady. So those are the experiences that I've been able to experience because of the game of golf.
And yeah, your final chapter here, and once again, this is going to come out here in about 6 to 8 months. The Journeyman by Charlie Epps, and credit to Mark Button, did a wonderful job helping you out with the writing in this. Mark, obviously, incredible resume with the Texas Golf Association, did a lot of their communications for a long time, and really one of the best journalists in the state of Texas, in my opinion.
And he's written quite, some books, and we got a great friendship, and so we moved forward, and over the period of time, we got it done.
This final chapter, achievement through adversity, it's really a resembling theme to the action we're seeing at Torrey Pines this week. I mean, scores only at 9 under through 3 rounds. This is, the South Course at Torrey Pines it's got to be one of the toughest tracks on tour.
Yeah.
Especially when wind comes into play, like we saw yesterday. And the
Definitely,
day
it's the U.S. Open courses where Tiger won his last major.
Yeah.
2008.
2008, not his last, but second to last.
Second
Yes.
last. So and it's a great test, and Tom Weiskopf redid it, and they play 2 courses, the North and the South.
Yeah.
And that's always a challenge. That's one of the very few tournaments that has two courses. But now, and because of the tragedy of the fires up in L.A., the L.A. Open is going to be played in San Diego here in a couple of weeks because, of course, they couldn't play the golf tournament up in LA, and so it's we're going to see it back to back.
Yeah, they're going to go back to the South Course there at Torrey Pines here in 3 weeks. They'll go to Pebble Beach next week. They'll go to the Phoenix Open the week after, and then they'll be back at the South Course for the Genesis. It seems like the right move, Charlie. And as you said,
Yes.
Tiger Woods, the host of the Genesis,
Yes.
he's got considerable personal history at Torrey Pines. He won the PGA Tour event, won the Farmers 8 times, and then of course won his 14th major at the '08 U.S. Open. So I think it was the right decision. For those that don't know, Charlie, they only had 3 weeks to make this decision.
Yep.
I mean, how tough is it? Had they picked a course, that was not ready? I mean, there is a lot of preparation that goes into setting up a PGA Tour event, from the administration all the way to volunteers.
Well, that's the big advantage you have moving the golf course. 90 miles south is it's in the same state, California, in San Diego, and they've had hundreds and hundreds of tournaments there. The World Amateur there for juniors, so it's an experienced city. They understand the value of golf, and they have hotels, and it's a perfect fit to do this.
Ludwig Oberg was the first round leader at 9 under. The weather came in the second round. He shot 2 over, and he was tied for the lead after the second day. And then, yesterday, Charlie, it was reported that about 15 players came down with the flu. There's something going around Torrey Pines. Ludwig Oberg, one of those players, he shot 2 over yesterday and is 5 shots back. But if you look at the forecast for Torrey today, 20, 30 mile per hour winds with the leader at 9 under. It seems like scores around 4 under, 3 under. Those are still in play.
Oh no, you got it. This golf course with the wind is every day, and it's coming from a different direction. Plays really difficult. So um,
How did Angel fare at this track?
um, he never really had a good tournament. He defended his U.S. Open champion, and he didn't make the cut. Early in the season, and coming from South America, he really wasn't quite, in tune
Yeah.
with his golf game. And so he had a pretty good tournament up at Pebble Beach one year, and then over in Hawaii. But he never fared too well in I think maybe he had a top 15.
This is still spring training for a lot of these
Yes,
guys,
exactly.
isn't it?
That's a good analogy. You
Yeah.
better believe it.
Let's hear from third round leader looking for his fifth PGA Tour win at Torrey Pines this afternoon. That is Harris English. Here he was after round 3.
Yeah, just I managed my game really well. I wouldn't say I hit the ball great starting out, but missed it in the right spots and leaned on my short game and made some really good putts to save par starting out, and then kind of got the round going and started hitting some really good iron shots and making some putts, getting some momentum. And I felt like I hit the ball really well in the back nine. I don't think I really hit many fairways, but to me, I hit the ball really well. And I've played this place for a long time now, and I feel like I know where to miss it, where to be aggressive, and where to be patient and kind of have a yellow light pen of not being aggressive too. So I feel like I picked my spots really well today, and it's nice when you're seeing some putts go in.
And English had an opportunity to win this tournament back in 2015. I'm sorry, he was in a 8-hole playoff in 2021. With Kramer Hickok at the Travelers, and that was his last PGA Tour win. Now, Harris English did have a chance to win this golf tournament at Torrey Pines in 2015. He was in a 4-man playoff here, which was eventually won by Jason Day. So we'll see if Harris English can hang on. We'll get to some audio from Joel Dahman on the course conditions here in a second. But Charlie, for the average fan watching today, if there's some inclement weather, you're going to see some pros hitting some different kind of shots, trying to keep it under the wind. What's something that they can maybe take away and learn from today watching the coverage?
Well, you're going to see a lot of 3/4 iron swings. The iron is you want to be as accurate, and you want to flight the ball, keep it down low, keep it out of the wind. And so there's a saying in golf, swing easy when it's breezy, and not try to overpower the wind. Use the wind to your advantage, and also, like he said, Harris, he knows where to miss the ball. He's not going to put himself in harm's way because he's an idiot. He controls that ball as good as any of them. He's one of the first big golfers like Tom Weiskopf, who's, I mean, Harrison's got to be 6'3",
Huge.
6'4",
Yeah.
and he's got an elegant golf swing, and his power comes from his physique, and so he's smart, and he'll give it a good try.
When you were going around the practice rounds with Angel at this golf course at Torrey, the Kikuyu Rough is really something that stands out. This is typically the first tournament of the season where there's really rough in play. How do you go about managing that around the greens?
Well, first of all, there's rough, but these players have a clubhead speed that's incredible. And so it's not as difficult as it might seem. I mean, I've seen a lot of great shots out of this rough with these players, and they know how to, you know, hit it to the front of the green and let it roll out, or they need to hit it to the back of the green and let it back up because of gravity. So it's a lot of proper grip pressure. Be able to have a little grip pressure with less effort, and understand how the ball flies when there's grass between the club face and the ball. The ball is like a knuckleball. If you've seen a knuckleball in baseball, it kind of goes every different direction.
A Wakefield action.
That's right. And so they have to gauge that. And when they see a flyer, you got to respect it. And if it's 200 yards, hit a shot of 100 yards back into the fairway and get that 100-yard wedge shot. And these greens are really fast. It's fast and dry. Look what's happened in the state of California. The Santa Ana winds are really dry this year, and so they've really dried out the greens. So that's another reason why they have to know where to bounce the golf ball.
Yeah,
and it's usually a little in front of the green.
They suspended play, Charlie, in the second round, not due to, was due to weather, but there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I mean, the winds were ripping at about 30, 35 miles per hour.
Yes.
Have you ever seen, the PGA Tour take players off the golf course due to too much wind?
There's been occasion,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, sure has. It doesn't happen too often, but they got to predict when the ball starts moving, on the greens. When you put it, you mark it and you put it down, and then the gust of wind comes and it goes 20 feet. That's when you got to stop play.
And back to your last point, hitting out of that rough. I mean, I've seen so many players this week. If they're not in the position they want in the fairway, it seems like they're always shooting towards the middle of the green, playing very conservatively. And I feel like the listener at home could absolutely pull something away from that.
The other person I'm going to be watching this weekend is our good friend Jonathan Villegas.
He's right there, Charlie.
He's won this before, and he's a big, tall guy that can handle the wind, and it'd be great to see him get a victory this early in the season.
And play wraps up today, Charlie. It's a Saturday finish. They started on Wednesday. Due to all the football you have tomorrow with the Commanders and Eagles and the Bills and the Chiefs. Obviously,
there's a football game?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Is there?
Tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
AFC and NFC championship.
Go Kansas City.
Your guy, Jim Nance, original host of the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, he's calling the action for Torrey Pines from Kansas City.
Isn't that great?
He's unbelievable. So
he really is.
We'll get to more on the Farmers in the next segment. We'll hear from Joel Dahman on the conditions. He did a great in-round interview with the NBC coverage, and then we'll review TGL Match 3. We'll hear from Billy Horschel after that round. And as far as picks going into today, I picked Ludwig Berg to start the week. Obviously, he has fallen back a little bit, but still at 4 under and a tie for eighth. And I think if the wind gets up today, I think 6, 7 under could be the winning number. I know Harris English is at 9, and he knows how to get the job done in the big moment, and he knows how to play this golf course, as aforementioned, was in a playoff here back in 2015. But if the conditions get going today, 4 under where Oberg is still in play. Only matchup I've added for today is KH Lee over Wesley Bryan at minus 110 on DraftKings. So we'll get to more on that a little bit later on. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
The Charlie Epps Golf Hour, powered by Insperity, continues
on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's Will Doctor and Charlie Epps.
Nice to have you with us. Last week, Sepp Straka earned his third PGA Tour win in Palm Springs. He held off a surging Justin Thomas on Sunday. Sepp only made 2 bogeys on the week, and I think that for his third PGA Tour win, this is a former player from Georgia who has a lot of game out of Austria. That was an impressive victory, and I think we're going to see Justin Thomas break through here pretty soon, and
He's looking good.
yeah, get his well-awaited victory. And
and he might be, candidate for a major this year. He's going to get ready for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I think that's a good topic of conversation in the golf world and what's going to happen up in New York. So
new family man, Charlie, Justin Thomas's him and his wife welcomed a new baby to the family right at the end of 2024. I mean, fatherhood and family we talked about in the first segment. Your book, The Journeyman, that's a big change to someone's life, isn't it?
Big change, and it's the great change, and it's a challenge, and it's what life is all about. And if you're able to experience parenthood, it's a marvelous invention. And tonight we're going to go to a birthday party for my granddaughter.
Wow.
She's 11 years old.
11 years old. Has she picked up the game yet?
Well, she's athletic. Being in a family of 3 boys and herself, and her mom's club champion at Lakeside, and her father is a great baseball coach and a businessman, and they've got.
And her oldest brother is a superstar talent at TCU.
Superstar. No, how about that? Scholar, athlete, and
he does it all.
Yeah, he's off to a good start.
So you got a little birthday action tonight?
Yeah, we're going to go have a little food, Mexican food, and then we're going to go over for cake and ice cream, and it's a great celebration, and looking forward to it.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic, Charlie. We were talking about Justin Thomas. He was part of the Atlanta Drive team that beat New York Golf Club 4-0. Justin Thomas, as we said, put on a clinic in that match. A lot to really like about TGL. There's been really a ton of there's been some negative criticism, just like any new kind of league. But I'm continuing to kind of voice my support on this. Once again, it's a Tuesday league. We've never been able to watch golf in the middle of the week. So, I understand there's, maybe some issues with the simulator and the technology, but Charlie, I mean, through 3 matches here, to be able to watch the best in the world mic'd up, playing a little bit of a different style, laid back format, I'm really on board with.
And you get to know the human part of the golf pro, and to see Tiger laugh and to interact with all his friends and all the golf pros. What the heck? It's just fun. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I mean, I didn't watch it all. I keep falling asleep. I don't know. Ever since I turned 80, I'm having trouble when I get in my chair.
It's over, isn't
What
it?
do you think's happening?
I think you need a good cup of coffee when you sit down for the match, Charlie.
Holy cow!
But I hear you. I hear you. After a long day, you sit on your favorite chair and it's sayonara. It's game over. And the other reason you're falling asleep, Charlie, is because the results of these matches really has not been close. And that's one of the big complaints. In match 1, the Bay versus New York, the Bay won 9-2. The next week was LA Golf Club versus Tigers Jupiter Lynx. That the final score was 12-1 LA. And then last week, Atlanta Drive won 4-0. And here was Billy Horschel of the Atlanta Drive after match 3.
Yeah, we're having a great competition. Obviously, the last 2 weeks have been blowouts, and this one isn't. Jeff, the producer, has asked us nicely to keep it close, and we're trying to accommodate him as much as we can.
Hey, that was an interesting comment. That spark. I think he was being sarcastic. That he talked to the producer and promised him to keep it close. I think that was maybe some of Billy's humor that not many people understood. But the bottom line is, the technology, the players, all great. The actual competition has not been very close through 3 weeks.
No, and so you know what I do when they get too far apart? I was watching tennis last night.
Oh, Australian Open, Madison Keys. What a champion, what a career. A little bit more of a veteran. And I think, what is it? It's Zverev and I don't know.
Who won the match last night?
In the men's final?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was Zverev. I know Keys won the women's.
No, it was
No. The men's final has not been played yet. It's Jannik Sinner versus Alexander Zverev tomorrow morning at 2:30 a.m. I think the women's final was played last night, Charlie. If I'm not mistaken, let me just check here. Yeah, it was Madison Keys defeated Arya Sabalenka. Big upset. Keys is a veteran American, and Sabalenka is number 1 in the world. So, yeah, a little tennis action there. I didn't watch much of the Aussie Open, but good stuff.
The men's semifinals. It was really, really, really a great match, and I fell asleep again.
Yeah, well, so in one of the semis was Sinner defeating Shelton in 3 straight sets. Ben Shelton, a really good young American I've watched quite a bit. And then, in the other semifinal, Djokovic had to withdraw.
His leg got him.
Yeah, against Zverev, which was very surprising.
Yeah.
But
Zverev was really, he's a stud.
World class, out of Germany, world class. Continuing on the world of golf, as we talked about in the first segment, the conditions at Torrey Pines really the toughest of the year so far. On Thursday you saw players being pulled off the course for about an hour. On Friday we're hearing that there's a little bit of a bug going around. You got players withdrawing. Some really tough conditions there in San Diego. Here was Joel Dahman, only a few back of the lead going to the final round. Here was Joel on the conditions.
This is wild. I don't know if I've ever played Torrey in this much wind before, and we have Santa Ana winds coming in from the east, and every now and then we get a switch off the ocean, which has been super strange today. Really difficult to play in, and this is just survival mode out here today.
For this par 5 13th, this is a place where you could theoretically reach into, but you've got the canyon, you got the wind. How are you strategizing with Gino?
Theoretically, with my ball speed, I definitely can't reach into. We had 225 to cover to the fairway today, and I think I just did that. I mean, we got blowing 25 in off the left, so I'm just happy I hit the fairway. The tough part is now laying up, because I'm going to have to do another hybrid or 3-wood down there to lay up just to have a chance. So, and you can't play out of the rough here at Torrey.
And Colt was just saying that usually we're always saying that the South course is so much more difficult than the North course. But today with these winds, what would it like being out playing on the North course?
So the North course, the greens are a little firmer and they're a little more slippery. So I think I'm happy I'm over here on the South today. We'll see how the scores bear out at the end of the day.
Joel Dahman, only a couple back. He's sitting at 5 under, 4 back the lead. He's become a great personality in the world of golf.
He has
been on a couple of the Netflix shows. And,
Yep.
Still searching for win number 2, though. He won the Bermuda Championship. Corrales Championship a few years ago. Really still looking for that big win. But I loved his comments and the way that he's been getting through some of these conditions at Torrey Pines.
Yes, and you know what I'm looking forward to is Jordan Spieth coming back.
Yeah, wow.
And
Returning.
I hope the operation did him well, and he'll be able to continue at a higher level than where he was. So that's exciting. But explain to me one thing: why is Oberg when it's Aberg?
Yeah, that's a great question. That was a name that I made a few errors on when he was first coming out of the gate when I was covering him in college. I would be lying if I knew the way the Swedish language worked, but there is a little O, on top of the A in Oberg, and it's that's how it's pronounced. Now, the English language, and you want to talk about some of these names, Charlie. There's a player on the PGA Tour named Frankie Sappin. Okay. He great player out of Florida Gulf Coast. He's on the PGA Tour this year, won on the Corn Ferry Tour last year. His last name is spelled Capan. That is Capin. But somewhere along the lines, people come up with their own pronunciation of their names. Listen, the spelling wise, I think it is Ludwig Aberg, but with the little O above the A, it's Oberg. But anyway, superstar talent. I think he's going to have a great chance, especially at Augusta this year. But Oberg struggling with the putting the last couple days. Still a chance there at 4 under. That is still a number that could get the job done. Now, as far as other news in the world of golf, Charlie, St. Andrews is going to host the 2027 Open Championship. When you look at the lineup for that year, it's going to be the Masters, it's going to be Pebble, it's going to be St. Andrews, and then it's going to be the PGA at Frisco.
Beautiful.
So,
Frisco.
Yeah, PGA Frisco is going to be hosting a major.
Oh, that's right.
In 2027.
That's going to be interesting. The PGA of America has built a complex in the middle of the country up a little north of Dallas. And it's terrain is West Texas, very few trees, a lot of wind. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, are they ready to host a major? Have you been up there?
Yes, I've been up there, and they amazingly have converted the land into a couple of good golf courses. Whether they're ready for a major, I'm not sure, but they're going to do it because they can.
Yeah,
and the wind can blow up there. I mean, it comes all the way from Alaska, and nothing to stop it.
We'll see. They have 2 years to get ready, Charlie. We got to take a quick break.
2 years.
On the other side, we'll get to your questions. We'll hear from Joel Dahman once again on some Navy SEAL training he's been doing. We'll hear some quotes from Ernie Els at the Champions Tour event. He told a good story, some things to learn from there. And Ludwig Oberg dished on some of his off-season drills. So we'll get to that on the other side. And later on, we'll make a weekend pick for the Farmers. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Back after this.
The Charlie Epps Golf Hour, powered by Insperity, continues
on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's Will Doctor and Charlie Epps.
Charlie, last week, Ernie Els won the Mitsubishi Electric Championship there in Hawaii. It was his 7th PGA Tour Champions win. Ernie, and what a tournament that was, beat out Alex Cheka and Miguel Angel Jimenez and Bernhard Longer by 2 shots. What a champion he is. What a career he's had.
He really has. He's quite a nice person, and that's and I've got to know him, but not as much as I'd like to. My good friend Jeff Claus, who was an assistant of mine at Houston Country Club, went to South Africa and really taught him English.
Wow.
And became a good friend with Ernie, and when he decided to turn professional and join the South African group greats, with Gary Player at the lead, and it's he's just a wonderful human being.
19 wins on the PGA Tour, 28 European Tour wins, a couple majors in there. What a career. I mean, yeah, 94 U.S. Open, 97 U.S. Open, 2002 Open, 2012 Open. He told a funny story last week regarding how often he's changing golf balls on the course. Let's hear that from Els.
It's funny how you pick up things through the years. I remember I was years ago playing with Sam Torrance in the tournament, and I saw him do that, and I was like, Sam, what are you doing? He says, no, Ernie, you got to understand, it's only one birdie in a golf ball. I'm like, really? And I didn't believe that until I kind of saw it start happening to me. So now I'm changing golf balls every time I make a birdie. So, surely you're not going to make 18 birdies. I'm not putting 18 golf balls in my bag, but at least 12.
And unfortunately for this, I mean, the fan at home, you're not getting rid of a ball after every birdie.
He gets him free.
I know.
He gets him free. He's the one that really, the Pro V1, when it came out with its new cover and in Hawaii, and he and Tiger had that head on match, and it was great golf, and he hit it so far. And then he came to Houston, and they were playing the new course, the
Golf Club of Houston.
Yeah, Golf Club of Houston, but it wasn't the tournament course. It was the original golf course that existed there when our company bought it, Insperity, and the 6th hole it was a par 5 back then, and it was 340 carry to over this big tree down on the right of the fairway. And Ernie, I was up by him, just watching his swing and his move, and he hit this beautiful shot. I mean, beautiful shot. And the ball never came down. I mean, it flew this tree. I mean, I've never seen a ball go that far in the air. And it was the new golf ball, but also his beautiful golf swing and his way to hit the golf ball was really unique. I mean, in the sense that it was effortless power. I mean, he could really smack it,
and it still is to this day. I mean,
yeah.
It's really it's unbelievable what he's done on the Champions Tour, and watching him at the Insperity Invitational last year.
And the other thing, as a parent, his one son is autistic, and he has put together a charity over there in West Palm Beach that has really done marvelous things for the education of the children who are autistic, but also the parents who want to nurture their children. So he and his wife have done so much for the autistic world.
Yeah, the Ernie Els and Fan Court Foundation was established in 1999, and since Ernie's son's autism diagnosis, him and his wife, they've just done really amazing things. I mean, an annual golf tournament, Els for Autism Pro-Am, just great stuff. So that's number one as far as Ernie. Number two, we talked about it last segment. Ludwig Oberg going to have a chance to win today at 4 under, 5 shots back of the lead. He was talking about his off-season drills with Golf Digest, and since he's from Sweden, and when he goes home for the off-season, he can't go work on his game outside. So he does a lot of indoor work. And he says the only thing he does, Charlie, he says he feels like he gets a little under the golf ball in transition and then flips the club. He puts a chair behind his left glute and feels the pressure stay there throughout the golf swing. Says it helps him give him more space through the impact zone.
Well, we'll have to try that over at my indoor facility, and we'll get it going.
You ever use that one as far as creating space? And for those that are feeling jammed, a little stuck, what is the usual fix for that?
Well, it depends on the person's ability. You got to analyze, do you have a golf swing that will let you do what you want to do? And I've been going through a exercise person in South Carolina, Zoom, and they have special moves. So you got to break down your body as far as what can your body do. Don't ask it something it can't do, whether the shoulder moving back to the right or the shoulder dropping. Go to somebody that can analyze your physique and your physical ability before you try to hit a golf ball.
Yeah. Wow. It can vary. I mean, it can vary for all different players.
Oh yeah, exactly right. I mean, and all of the golf professionals that I know, the PGA of America, everybody's getting attuned to physical fitness, but also to the way the bone structure is and the way that their muscle work. And it's just kind of like my little Nona, my daughter, she can out hit me now. But she's loose and she can sling the club and she can pound it, and she's putting me to shame.
It's like 99 Tiger, just wiry, Charlie.
Wiry.
It's like Charlie Wiley,
but Margaret, whose birthday it is today or tomorrow, she can hit it too.
Now, does she? Obviously, her brothers Charlie and Ben. Charlie
and
John. Charlie, star golfer. Ben, you said he's starting to really, get into it full time.
Yes.
Does she look at that and is she interested in the game or maybe some other spot? And she's only 11, so much time.
She's into soccer.
Okay.
But I say
it's a great sport to play when you're young.
I say, boy, but you're good, Margaret. She looks at me.
Yeah. I wish I had played a little bit more soccer, Charlie, because if you play that at an early age, I mean, the way it builds your legs,
develops your
your
skills.
Yeah, no, it's a great sport to play young as far as this game is concerned. Okay, so that's the physical side of things. Now, how about the mental side of things? Joel Dahman, he's in contention going to the final round at the Farmers, and he's a guy that over the years we've come to know as someone who he plays his 18 holes and then he goes into the clubhouse and has a couple beers and has a good time with the media and kind of doesn't take himself too seriously. Well, he's looking to take a step up, and improve his mental game a little bit. He says he's been working with some Navy SEALs over the offseason.
Yeah, my performance coach, Chris Bertram, back home, had this wonderful idea. He works as a Navy SEAL out here for his other clients, and he thought it was a good idea for me to maybe toughen me up in a mental way a little bit. There wasn't, when you think of Navy SEAL stuff, you think of like crazy physical stuff, but honestly, it's more mental than anything. Yeah. So we did some water training. I'm not Michael Phelps in the pool, that's for sure. So I got better at life, for those 3 days. Had Gino out here by my side as well, which is really fun, some kind of more bonding stuff. But I don't think I would have got through the fall if I didn't have that training. I can dig deeper than I thought I could before, and there's more in there. So you're just trying to tap into that more often.
How does that help you tomorrow?
We're going to find out. The way I played on Sunday in Sea Island felt like a final round, like trying to win a golf tournament. And I put myself in position there if I can get off to a good start tomorrow. So I handled myself really well out there today. Nerves were limited, and I was pretty comfortable. So I'm just looking forward to have a chance tomorrow.
He's not the first golfer to go to the SEALs, is he?
No, Tiger was really into that kind of, I don't know what you excess training, and he was serious about it.
It caught up to him though.
Yeah.
This is a little more mental for Joel. I think reading some of Tiger's books, I mean, he took the physical routine of a SEAL and implemented it into his own life.
Yes.
And obviously Tiger, I mean, is physically just the most dominant player in the game, and just looks way, even to this day, Charlie, watching him in TGL, I mean, Tiger is still, he looks like he's in tournament shape. It's just the right leg that gets him that was injured in that car accident.
That but his ability to lift weights was what has really driven his physique, and it's been a incredible thing to watch.
We'll see him. We'll see him this Tuesday on TGL. It'll be Tiger's Jupiter Golf Links against Rory's Boston Commons. So it'll be Tiger versus Rory for TGL this week. That'll be good stuff. On the other side, we'll hear more from Farmers Insurance leader Harris English. Get a word in from Insperity. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity. Back after this.
The Charlie Epps Golf Hour, powered by Insperity, continues
on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's Will Doctor and Charlie Epps.
Nice to have you with us. Harris English leads the way at the Farmers Insurance at Torrey Pines by 1 over Andrew Novak. Aldrich Pot Guider is in solo third at 7 under. KH Lee, Matisse Schmidt, Joel Dahman, Lanto Griffin, all in a tie for fourth at 5 under. Before we continue on the golf, Charlie, there's business owners, that have, that are having some obstacles to growing their business. I know you have a solution.
Well, the solution is, and as a golf professional, I'm asked for my opinion on golf swings and how to hit a golf ball and so on and so forth. And every now and then I get a question about business. And I always ask my students, are you a small business owner? And once I find one that has a small business, and we start talking, and I said, "What's your biggest headache?" He said, "Well, taking care of my employees, human resources, getting the best value for the product for health insurance, so on and so forth, to make sure that my employees are treated the best that I can afford." Well, I said, "Why don't you give Insperity a call?" Who? They say. This is many years ago, and in 1986 they started this company. Four gentlemen that had a great vision, and the chairman, Mr. Sarvati, and it's grown since 1986 till now. That has over 4,000 employees that are specialized in helping small business grow their business. And so if you want to start 2025 and get a leg up, give them a call, and they'll consult with you. They'll tell you what they can do and what they can't. But I guarantee you, this company knows their business, and they know how to do everything related to human resources and so on and so forth. So Insperity is a company that since 1986 has just incredibly been so successful, and they love golf. And uh, I can't say enough for the people that work for Insperity.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the Insperity Invitational coming up again this spring. Should be an excellent tournament there in the Woodlands. And yeah, everyone needs to head to Insperity.com, especially if you're a business owner. You lighten your HR load so you can go ahead and just focus on growing your business. That's what Insperity does. We continue on the world of golf. Charlie, you mentioned it a little earlier, but for the first time in 2025, we'll see world number one Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy make a return. They'll be playing at Pebble Beach next week. And I mean, looking ahead, I know this is a place, Pebble Beach, that I mean, you have had countless special memories. I mean, between
Unbelievable.
your daughter getting married there, and I'm sure Angel contended there a couple times. I
Yes.
mean, what a special place.
It is. It's golf by the ocean, but more importantly, it's just a situation where that whole area is got some great golf courses, great place for vacation. But it's a unique place, and I hope everybody gets to experience that.
Yeah, Charlie, for someone looking to plan an outing out there, what is the correct way to do an outing at Pebble Beach?
Well, they have a staff of professionals in their office that handles everything from A through Z. It's just like when I had my daughter's wedding out there. I just talked to a lady that's her job, handling all the weddings, and they are staffed to help everybody. And you got Spanish Bay, and you got, it's just a great place to go and visit. I mean, gosh darn.
And the housing accommodations, is it on property, or are you staying over at Spanish?
Oh yeah, no, you can choose price points and so on and so forth. First time I went when I was 15 years old, stayed right in the lodge itself, right over the 18th green. And when I went over there and played in the Crosby, I was crazy enough. I said, I'm going to go out and qualify, and I did, and I stayed there. So it's magnificent.
Yeah, how many times did you play you played the Pebble Beach Pro-Am?
Oh yeah.
Wow. And the Crosby, did Crosby used to sponsor Pebble? And at what point did they go over to Coachella for Palm Springs?
Okay.
Sorry.
Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, but mainly Bing Crosby lived down in San Diego, and they had a tournament there, a pro-am, and they were in the entertainment world, and they got the entertainment, Dean Martin, all the guys, and they started the pro-am. Actually, Jackie Burke, his son's godfather, was Bing Crosby.
Wow.
And Jackie Burke's wife was from Columbus, Texas. So they came to, when Jackie built Champions, they all came in and helped promote that.
Wow.
So it's just such a great, great history of that. But the accommodations and the business of Pebble Beach are run by professionals, golf pros, people, hotels, dinners, everything. You just call Pebble Beach and tell them what you want, and they'll do it.
Unbelievable. And the year that you played, do you remember the celebrity that you were paired up with, and any celebrities that you ran into, any conversations you had that were pretty memorable?
I walked off on Monday after qualifying. And I felt,
Where was the qualifier?
on Pebble Beach.
Wow.
On
Imagine Monday qualifiers today at the PGA Tour venue. Beautiful.
And I go to, and the first guy that greets me is John Calabria, a good friend of mine, and he gave me a big hug. And James Gardner, famous cowboy actor, he says, "Hey guys, what are you guys so happy about?" He said, "Charlie just qualified for the Crosby." He says, "Come here, Charlie, let me give you a hug." James Gardner, the man. But we saw them all. It was just magnificent.
How has I know maybe when's the last time you went to the tournament with Angel?
Oh,
Do you remember? My question is, how has maybe the atmosphere, when you were coming off after competitive rounds, then, the camaraderie and, let's have a beer and catch up compared to today, when maybe the fun has been taken out of that tournament just a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of boring guys on the PGA Tour, but no, they're still I was there with Curtis Strange and Jack Nicklaus and Jake Trevino and they all played in that event because of the connections with business world and the celebrities and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Speaking of your friends, I watched Lanny Watkins sign off
Yeah.
on the Champions Tour
Yeah.
last Sunday, and that was to hear everyone's reaction about how special their memories were.
Yeah.
And then to think back 2 years ago when I was a rookie and we were at the Insperity Invitational.
Yeah.
And you said, "Hey, well, come on, we're going to dinner."
Yeah.
We walk into Kirby's and the whole place is packed. We're not getting a table.
Yeah.
And you go, "Oh, there's Lanny and Phil Blackmore. Let's go sit with them." And we went on to have one of the most special dinners of my life, primarily because Lanny Watkins is such a trip.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
one of the funniest guys and well versed on the game, a major champion. So, man, to watch him sign off last week, I was a little sad. I know Azinger's going to do a good job, but man, Lanny Watkins, one of a kind.
Yeah, one of a kind. And he won his major at Pebble Beach, the PGA, in a playoff. But Lanny's a special person in my life. Dick Harmon taught him for a while when Lanny was at his peak, and he's just a special guy and a special talent.
Yeah, now great voice, and him and Bob Papa did a incredible job all those years. All right, Harris English is going to try to hold off a great group of chasers today. Harris is going after his 5th win on the PGA Tour. What a beautiful golf swing, a great game, a great career. Really no reason to think, other than the conditions that are coming into Torrey, there's going to be heavy winds today. No really real reason to think that he would be swayed off track today, especially after the way he played yesterday. Here's Harris English on what it would mean to win his 5th at Torrey Pines.
Yeah, I felt like I had a pretty good year last year. I finished, I think, 57th on the FedEx Cup, which could have had some better finishes, but I played decent. It's been really close. I feel like I worked really hard this offseason, and it's nice to kind of see it starting to take shape and seeing in tournament rounds. Winning on the PGA Tour is hard. Winning in a place like this will be massive. It's always been one of my favorite places, and the list of winners here is pretty incredible. So I love being in the mix and looking forward to tomorrow.
Charlie, he birdied 4 of his last 6 holes at Torrey Pines South yesterday. And to me, after watching 3 rounds of coverage, 13 to 18 at Torrey South, I mean, those are some of the toughest holes on the PGA Tour.
They are. They have the ocean on the left, and they have the Kikuyu rough, and the greens are smallish in size, and with the 30-mile-an-hour wind, you got to golf your ball to be able to birdie what did he say?
Yeah, 4 of the last 6.
4 out of the last 6. You know,
Yeah.
I saw my grandson play the World Amateur there,
Wow.
and that was a big treat to see that happen too. Watching kids play that golf course, you know, that's
Junior Worlds.
Junior
Yeah.
World, Junior World. So
Only the best go there, Charlie.
only the best.
Yeah, and
I went there as a grandfather.
It is the Carmel Cup, not to sway off. You know, the Carmel Cup was a college event that, at least when I was in college, they played at Pebble Beach, and TCU would be there every year. Is that on his schedule this year? Are they still doing that?
Well, he's going to Palo Alto in April.
Okay.
And so hopefully I will be able to get out there and watch that.
Beautiful. Well, we have to wrap up here. I got one more thing. You know, my pick heading into this weekend. I'm sorry, into the final round. I'm just gonna have one pick. It's gonna be KH Lee over Wesley Bryant at -110 on DraftKings. We've got one little bit from Wesley Bryant here. A little bit of audio. Abigail, I think I sent that over. If not, correct me. Are we good to go? Okay. He was Wes Bryant on his future on the PGA Tour after yesterday's round.
I mean, I have been, and I know the stats aren't going to show it today, but I'm definitely more confident off the tee and driving it a lot better. Again, today was just hit and hope type of day, but consistently been getting the ball in play and hitting it a little longer, which helps. Been starting to make more putts, which obviously helps. And then there's like a little bit of freedom that I've been playing with, knowing that kind of my playing time on the tour is for sure coming to an end at some point. And then kind of the trajectory of the YouTube, which is going great. And I've kind of found a new passion and love for the game, like in a way I never saw coming. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying where I'm at, not taking any of these opportunities for granted and kind of putting my head down and going to work on the YouTube front and loving that. So, there's definitely like a better mindset that I've had, with the game over the last probably now year and a half, 2 years.
So here's the bottom line. Wesley Bryant more focused on the YouTube golf, kind of seeing his PGA Tour career come to an end, while KH Lee, great game, putting it well. Iron play has been spectacular this week. Driver's been great. Looking for his third PGA Tour win. KH Lee won the Byron Nelson a couple times at Craig Ranch. That's another beast of a golf course. I see a lot of comparisons there with Torrey Pines, besides the rough. And rough's non-existent there at Craig Ranch, but I digress. I like KH Lee over Wesley Bryant, the final round of -110 on DraftKings. That'll do it here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour. Great job today, Charlie. Great job, Abigail, behind the ones and twos. We'll see you next Saturday midway through Pebble Beach.
See y'all.